within our means and to begin the journey to slow down on borrowing, because borrowing is becoming a threat to our economy. We have agreed with you that we are going to be regular in making sure that you have information that is necessary for you to make the decisions that you have to as legislators, as people who appropriate government resources for us to run our programs, and as people who provide oversight over what we do as government. The economy is the basis upon which this election was prosecuted. And you now understand where we are in terms of our economic position. We have explained to you our Kenya Kwanza plan. We have explained to you in detail, many of the professionals who are here. We have explained to you matters to do with agriculture and what we need to do with agriculture so that agriculture can lift our economy. And when we say agriculture, we mean from productivity. We have agreed that with appropriate intervention, we can increase our productivity without necessarily increasing the acreage of the land we are using under our agricultural activities. We have agreed with you on how agriculture is going to be used to stimulate and to spur our agro-processing, value addition, all the way to manufacturing and job creation. You now appreciate why UHC can become a reality in the shortest time possible, and the necessary interventions we have to do when it comes to reforming the National Health Insurance Fund and making sure that it works for everybody and leaves no Kenyan behind. You have heard here that every year, 1 million Kenyans run the risk of being destitute because of illness. And that is why it is necessary for us to urgently reform the NHIF and roll out our universal health coverage plan, which we sold to the people of Kenya, and that is why they elected us. We have also agreed on what we need to do with our housing plan. You now understand better why this housing plan is not just about building houses. It's a whole concept of transforming communities and transforming our nation. Getting the people in slums to live in decent habitat. Making sure that we create more home owners than rent payers. We also ensure that through the housing plan, we also make millions of our young people to have jobs. We have desegregated the housing plan so that it also begins to create industry. Every item. You know, we have agreed that we are going to standardize doors, windows, hinges, and everything else so that it is possible to produce doors en masse, it is possible to produce windows en masse, it's possible to produce all the components of a house en masse, create industry. You heard from the gentleman from Ngong Road how they got a contract of 120 million. The people on the roadside, because of the power of aggregation. I think we've also agreed with you that we have among the lowest saving as a percentage of GDP in our region. It is not possible for us to continue contributing 200 shillings and pretending that we are doing anything called saving. It is not saving. It is a joke. And we have agreed, and we have been taken through the numbers here, what savings can do for our country. In fact, savings is biblical. I mean, it's, honestly. Yeah? The Bible says, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. So, for those of you who are believers, you will also be fulfilling what the Bible says. And you could possibly go to heaven. for saving, you know? So we all agree that we have to raise our savings as a percentage of GDP. It is not possible for NHIF to continue receiving 200 shillings from people who earn as much as 1,500,000, 200,000. You have heard that it's even becoming expensive administering the 200,000. We have just been told here, if you continue with the 200 shillings, it is better to stop. Sinja tumeambiwa. So, good people, we have to do the necessary reforms, change the law, amend the regulations,